Hello, Thirstaholics. Welcome to the Thirsty Professional, where today we are welcoming, I'm so excited I could pee, fan favorite and one of my all-time favorites, Seamus Corry. Woohoo! I'm so excited. Did I say I was excited? Go grab a cuppa. We'll be back in just a minute.
Welcome to the space where truth is poured. No corporate scripts, just tales explored. From passion quest to purpose found, the thirsty professional breaks new ground. So fill your cup, let's have a chat about careers, life, and all of that.
Oh my God, I totally didn't even realize that I had my little picture down in the corner. So if you guys were seeing me drink coffee and sing and dance, well, you know what? That's what we're all about. Hey, everybody, welcome to the Thirsty Professional. This is a place where we grab a bevy. Did you have your bevy? We ditch the BS and we get real about careers, purpose, and passion. I'm your host, Bethane Campbell. I'm a former corporate queen, now full-time author and podcaster. I am author of the award-winning Where the Hell's My Bacon for all you corporate types out there. A funny book. It'll make you not feel good about where you are, but at least know that there's hope. And also the recently released, the first novel that I just released, the R.I.P. Files, Case of the Demon Drums. You can get that on Amazon and many online bookstores. If you are watching live, let us know you're here in the comments, where you're from, and most importantly, what are you drinking? If you're watching the replay, please give us a hashtag replay. And of course, make sure to let us know if you have any questions or feedback so we can address it during the live stream. Oh my God. Okay. I'm going to bring on, as I do his introduction, bring on my very, very special guest today on the Thirsty Professional, Seamus Corry, returning for the fourth time. He is the record holder right now. That's right. Last year, Seamus joined me for 3 episodes where he shared his journey of being promised to the priesthood as an infant by his father, the shocking reality of his fate, to his escape, and eventually his triumph. If any of you watched those episodes, you know how profoundly moving they were. Seamus is back, and we're going to reflect a bit, but we're going to also talk about what's going on in his life now, because he's awesome regardless. He took the pain, the learnings from his harrowing experience, what he learned from his priesthood training, he combined them with 25 years of professional development, and now he's a kick-ass wellness specialist, podcaster, and best-selling co-author. All right, enough me talking about him. Let's bring him on. Please welcome Seamus Corry. Welcome to the show, Seamus.
Thank you, Bethan. My BAC, my bestie. How you doing?
I'm doing great. BAC, the first 3 letters in bacon, just so you know, everybody should know.
Right.
I didn't plan that, but you know, maybe perhaps back in the day when I met my husband, I thought, well, here's this great guy and he's smart and funny and he makes me laugh, but his last name also starts with a C, which is, I could be bake on, but you know, perhaps not. Seamus, how the heck are you? What are you drinking today? Do you have a bevy?
Yeah, I do. On my Go Forth and Be Fierce cup, I have just a cup of tea, this afternoon.
Well, I love that.
I like a little cup of tea, and I've sneaked in a little chocolate biscuit as well, just for.
Well, good for you.
Because I'm celebrating, right, Bit? I'm celebrating. We're celebrating. We are celebrating today. Come on, get down. Woo! Absolutely celebrating today. We have so much to celebrate, so much to reflect on.
We do. I love your mug, by the way. Is that a custom mug or is that?
No, that's just off the shelf in one of the local stores mug. It spoke to me. It pulled me in. I needed this mug, and that's kind of my mission statement now for 26. You know, go forth and be absolutely fierce. You know, what's to lose, right?
I love it. I would be remiss if I did not ask you, how is Flora?
Flora's good. We've had not so good and good news about Flora. Flora turned 10 in January, so was her birthday just at the end of January there.
Happy birthday, Flora.
Yeah, and she celebrated well, as she always does, with copious amounts of love, hugs, and food. So we took her in some months ago to get her teeth done. She needed some teeth cleaned. She
Yeah.
needed a couple of extractions. Unfortunately, it was identified that she had the beginnings of a significant heart murmur,
Oh
which is
no.
the stage 1 stage of heart failure, which is atypical to Cavalier breeds. And over 90% of Cavaliers get this condition.
Wow.
Yeah, so much so that in Norway, Cavaliers are not allowed to be bred in Norway. Correct me if I'm wrong, but they're not
Wow.
allowed to be
Yeah.
bred because of the impact, the negative impact that it has on the system there in terms of care and recovery. So we got her
Oh,
there though. So she's on medication and she's just back to her old self and bouncing away and got her recently checked and her heart is just pumping good stuff.
good.
She still thinks she's a puppy. And in her head she's a puppy, but you know, she's getting on like we all are. And
Yeah. Yeah.
but she's managing quite well and she's just getting love, hugs and food really, copious amounts every day.
Well, here's a little picture of, hopefully y'all can see. This is my first time sharing an image with you, so hopefully you can see this lovely, cute, adorable Flora here. It's interesting, Seamus, that when you talk about, you just mentioned about how, we're all getting on, and you and I were just talking before we went live about
Mm,
death, right?
mm,
Do you feel, and you were telling me that in the past you kind of had this sort of fear of death. It was a little anxiety for you, if I may.
mm.
Do you feel as you get older that changes? Do you
Yeah,
feel
it
more
does.
comfortable? Yeah.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, I think I'm getting more like my dad, God rest him in ways, because you know my dad on his 60th birthday went out and bought himself a gift, and the gift he bought himself was a burial plot in the local cemetery, and
Oh,
he came
wow.
home and he celebrated with the whole family. Did and bought a
That's not
burial
what I would.
plot.
That's not what I'm going to buy on
No,
my 60th.
I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't spend the money. I wouldn't waste the money
Mm-mm.
on grass and earth.
Yeah, me neither.
And I won't. But I think as you get older, you're absolutely right, Beth. I think you begin to reflect more on the years that have gone and the years that are, you know, the years that are coming up. And you know, and I suppose with both my parents passed, you know, and at peace, we fall as the next generation. You know, this is
Yeah.
who we are. So some days I feel my age, some days I don't. But I think this is just another one of these chapters that we go through that I'm excited about. And I have a particular idea of this. I don't espouse to the Western view that we are born, we grow up, we work for 50 years, we retire and then we die. I don't think it's like that for me. I think if my experience tells me that I've lived you know, significant lives in the past, and my experience and my understanding and my knowledge and my awareness would tell me that, you know, and some of the
Interesting.
dreams, yeah, some of the dreamscapes I have sometimes would lead me to believe that, yeah, I've, in terms of the Eastern culture, they believe
Yeah.
life is a circle rather than a
Sure.
straight line. So you
Yeah.
just keep going around the wheel, and hopefully, every time you go around the wheel, you just get that little bit more closer to ultimate
Yeah.
nirvana, peace, heaven, whatever it might be.
Well, that's fascinating. It's really interesting. Just, you continue to amaze me as somebody who is there for most of their life was, or well, at least a big chunk of their life was really in the Catholic Church, which is very
Mm,
much Christian, and there's that philosophy. But
mm.
you believe in some way, shape, or form of a reincarnation type of a,
Yeah,
like you've
I
had
do.
something. I don't disagree with you. I'm sort of, I call myself an atheist, but I really think that there's something. I
There's
just,
something, yeah.
a higher source that, but I don't know really what that is. But I've dabbled in reincarnation a little bit. I'm curious if any of our listeners out there have any thoughts about aging and death, or what they think happens after death. I think it's just
Mm.
a fun topic to
Yeah, it is. Can I tell you a funny story around death? Not
Yes,
my death, but my mum's
absolutely.
death. You know, my mum passed in 2016. And I wasn't there when my mum passed for various reasons that I
Mm,
won't go into today on the podcast. But a couple of weeks after my mum passed, right, I was just walking Flora one day, and my mum used to do this thing. right? She used to give off a warning signal if she was angry. If you were going to be hit for her something that you did or didn't do,
Yeah.
right? And she just stick her lip up like that in a kind of like a that kind of motion, right? So you knew reading the signs before she even opened her mouth that you
That's
needed
funny.
to get the frig out of dodge because you were going to be hit, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
She was going to kick off. She was a proud, loving Irish,
Sure.
stoical,
Yeah.
powerful,
Oh, God, that's funny.
embodied Irish woman, right? So when my mum kicked off, you knew she kicked off. You knew it. You felt it. You
Yeah.
felt her energy, right? So this was always, we always felt this, and I always saw this when I was growing up. So anyway, my mum passed, and 2 weeks after she passed, I'm out walking Flora one day, and we're just going around the corner, and suddenly Flora stops. She turns around, and her lip just
Ooh.
suddenly goes up in the same mum style, right? And I just take a complete whitey. I literally have chills all over my body. I literally have hair sticking up in my the back of my head, and you know, and I knew in that moment that was my mum coming through in the form of my canine Flora,
That's
and
amazing.
yeah, so I went
Creepy,
home.
but amazing.
I got back home and I went home and I says, you know, to my wife, you know, mum's in Flora, you know, mum's trying to say hello, mum's letting us know she's all right. She says, "Oh, maybe you've seen things and it was, you know, maybe grief speaking." Anyway, Flora turns around in the kitchen, does exactly the same thing, and my wife does exactly the same response as I did when I was out with Flora on the walk, you know, acknowledging the fact that my mum was definitely in the room.
Fascinating. Well, a similar story, so, in a similar vein, when my mother passed away, so she passed away in 2008, and we were
Mm,
all, she was at home in hospice. And I was telling you earlier that I had my hand on her head and I felt what a great honor, but I never experienced anything, super paranormal. But my sister told me there were a couple of things that happened. Number one was in the room where my mom passed away, which was like a spare bedroom, but it
mm,
was like her room. She had it all, painted pink and stuff. And it was like the day after, or maybe a couple days after, my sister or somebody was sitting on the bed with one of my nieces who were just very little at the time. And one of the nieces kept looking over in the corner and waving in this, where there was just this rocking chair, right? And so it was kind of like, what is she waving at? There's literally nothing there. There's not a window. The windows were, so that was weird. Well, and I think it was the same niece, but maybe my sister will correct me if she's on here or she sees this. But I had two nieces that were around the same age, and they were
mm,
just like a year old. Later on, we were looking for this jewelry set to put on my mother for her burial, right? So we had a dress picked out, and we could not find. Somebody had a picture, and they're like, "This is the one that she loved. This necklace and these earrings." We could not find it anywhere. We ransacked in the closet, in the jewelry boxes, in the drawers, and just turned everything over looking for this one necklace that she wanted. So one of my nieces, the little ones, was taking a nap on my mom's her bed in her bedroom. We were all doing something. We came back a couple hours later, and there she is sitting on the bed laughing, and she's wearing the actual necklace that we had been looking for hours. So it was just really weird. I know we could do like
wow.
this whole thing. I told you I might do a podcast about paranormal. Maybe
Yeah,
I'll invite you on. I
definitely.
want I want to go to the comments because your fan club is showing up in spades here. So
Oh, wow.
Hale Hushaim, you are coming in to us from LA, California.
Hi,
Hello, hello.
Holly.
Nice to see you. Mike Goggin, my former colleague and good friend in Phoenix, Arizona. Nice to see you as always. Doris Walsh. Doris Walsh is going to be
Hey,
coming
Doris.
couple weeks, I think 2 or 3 weeks on. He's going to be coming back here to the Thirsty
Wow.
Professional. She's tuning in with some apple and black currant squash or
Interesting.
diluting juice, as we call it in Scotland. Oh, that sounds interesting.
Interesting.
Doris, is that like a smoothie? Tell me in the comments if what is that more like a smoothie?
Yeah.
Mike has black coffee and sunshine. Happy Friday. Yes, finally we had some rain, but we're getting some too. Willie Nichols here from
Hey,
Scotland.
Willie, how are you?
Oh, Willie, a glass of milk in Scotland. Can I tell you how like that just touches my heart? Because my absolute favorite drink of any mixed drinks or any whatever drinks is milk. So, and that's milk from a cow. Doris Walsh juice. Yes, Doris is going to have to patent it. Adaptive Apex. Oh, I know who this is. Who is Adaptive Apex always come through? Is that, oh, it's Sky. It's the Sky. Okay, I see your picture now. Your picture wasn't come through. Sky, it's nice to see you. UK, lime and soda. That sounds good.
Nice.
Gavin Waddle or Waddell. Sorry, I'm not sure.
Hey, Gavin, how are you?
Love that theme tune. Thank you. Theme tune was created by one of my former guests, Lion Flood. Halle Corry is amazing. Yes, he is, and so are you.
I am. She is. You should have her on. She's got an amazing story. But
well, a funny, interesting thing is Halle, and I'm going to have a panel. I'm all booked up for my single guests, but I'm doing a panel. I might do multiple panels, but I'm doing a panel on the corporate captives that are now doing something different. And we had a show a couple of weeks ago with Julie Taylor, and Julie, and we had a lot of response. So I've got Halle, I've got Louise Sverud, a few other people, and I'm sorry I haven't reached out to you yet. It's just been super busy, but we're going to do a panel show. So Halle is coming on the Thirsty Profession. Doris Walsh, great to see you both together. Halle says, so happy to hear you again and again and again. Willie, your fan, my main man, Seamus. Halle is thanking you, all the changes in the universe. Welcome, Corey. Love your top. Thank you. Thanks, Thrift Store. I buy about 90% of my clothes in thrift stores, and I found this in a little charity shop. Stella Scott. Yes, see, Stella's the reason I'm wearing, why I'm buying all of this stuff in charity shops, because I took a course from her a couple years ago now, and she really opened my eyes to the impact of our clothing on the world. And so now I buy pretty much everything except for like underwear and shoes and, undergarment things. But everything else I buy at thrift shops. Cool. She says, I'm looking forward to another amazing episode of Seamus and yet another amazing top or dress. See, you're here already, Stella. You're psychic. She's drinking water. We'll have coffee after this. It matches your top. The top is making waves here.
The top is going viral, Beth.
Yes, I know. Everybody loves Flora. Cutie. Halle is drinking organic loose leaf fresh harvested tea latte. So many. Wow, that sounds really good.
Yeah.
Stella says, yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
No, Halle's got some really, really amazing liquid combinations that she drinks.
I know she does.
She's just a universal power source for purity, man.
She knows wellness, so yeah.
She does.
Stella says, I think when you've grabbed life, jumped, taken risks, cried, and laughed, you're less afraid of dying. Stella, I agree. Yeah, I don't want to die, and I'm trying to do more things to be a higher quality of life. But if something happened tomorrow, I feel like I don't have regrets. I feel like I'm, Halle says, age is an illusion. The spirit never dies. We choose to come back, leave a legacy, bring light into the darkness. You'll be back in a different bodies to complete your mission. That sounds along the lines of what you are thinking about. Yeah. Doris, we could do a whole show on death. Doris says thinking about, this is not where I intended.
I'm dying to get on that one, Beth. All right.
Doris says, I'm thinking about death doesn't scare me. It inspires me. It's a reminder that I want to spend my time being fully used up, investing in experiences, relationships, work that lights me up so that when my time's done, I feel like I've truly lived. Yes, and yes. Halle, loved ones wave to someone and they are seeing their source to return to. Yeah, I know. That's what I feel like happened with my niece. And Gavin says he has Refreshers Squashums Diluting Juice.
Nice.
That sounds like the same thing as Doris has there. So
yeah, interesting. A lot going on for diluting juice on a Friday, isn't it?
It is. So, Seamus, I know we've talked, and is a lot of people here already know you, but there may be other people out there. Can you just tell us real quickly, what do you do right now? What is your career passion that you're working on?
Yeah, I knew you were going to ask me this question telepathically. I just knew that this question was going to come up, Beth.
I
So,
ask everybody.
in answer to your question, can I give you a beautiful? I was with a client the other day, an organizational client, and they have started within their organization just a little kindness, uh, uh, as it were, exercise for the staff internally, just
Sure.
to express kindness internally, right? So everybody got a gift with a little note on it, including myself when I visited on Wednesday. And my note read as following: Seamus, when days feel heavy and when stress runs high, you're the calm voice asking why. With thoughtful care in all you do, you help us grow. For this, we thank you.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's I'm getting like a little verklempt. That's such a beautiful thing that somebody
it
would
is.
write
And
about you.
it you know, and that's how people see me in a sense. And I was really taken by that. I was really moved by that little verse. And that little verse is going to, in some form, fashion or other, find its way into my book, which we'll talk about a little bit later on. But in essence, what do I do? What do I do? I essentially am a brother from another mother. I'm essentially am that guide on the side. I am that person that you hold on to in the dark when you're really struggling, where you need to find the light. And with my journey that I've taken and experienced, I have a bit of, let's just say, I have a little GPS system that's worked for me, that I work to support other clients with, and using that GPS system, hopefully, they can take themselves from where they are to where they really want to be.
That's awesome. That is profound and beautiful and
Yeah,
true and 100% true.
yeah,
Um, you talked in our first three episodes about your this amazing, beautiful at the end, but just harrowing journey that you went through, being promised to the
mm,
priesthood and finding out that it wasn't the greatest thing since sliced bread, and then
mm,
the mental taxing that and really brainwashing that you had to really overcome. And
mm,
you take some of that, a lot of that, and you bring that into what you do today as in your mental health counseling and well-being
mm,
consulting
mm.
and coaching, and just like you said, being that what people can hold on to. What are the like the most profound things that you bring from that history? What did that really, in many ways, horrible experience teach you that you bring in today? Is there
Yeah.
anything that
Oh, wow. It's the teacher that keeps on teaching, really. It's the teacher that keeps on teaching me. I'm its student in many ways. I have derived so much wisdom and knowledge and understanding from that experience. And if I was to take away from that experience, Beth, golden nuggets of wisdom. Uh, when you think you're stuck, you're not. When you're in real pain and when you're in real darkness, there is always hope. There is always hope. There is always somebody there looking out for you, looking after you, watching over you. You just need to reach out and hold that person's hand. You don't need to remain stuck. And I think if anything, in terms of my experience, getting unstuck might require some work. Getting unstuck might require some professional approaches. Getting unstuck and unraveled to really strengthen your well-being and strengthen your resilience and to enable you to move forward will take time. You didn't get here overnight, and you're not going to get better overnight. But it's also told me to be patient and kind and look after me during the journey, because in doing so, I'm so able and so willing to look after others who follow along that journey with me.
When you were in your worst moments through
Mm,
your experience,
mm.
did you think there was a way out of being stuck, or were you like many people thinking I can't, there's nothing.
Yeah, I felt hopeless. I absolutely felt hopeless. I mean, we spoke candidly in during our episodes about, my attempt to take my life on more than one occasion, and
Yeah.
each and every juncture I was prevented from doing so, not by any human intervention, and I can only describe it as some you speak about paranormal, Celtic spirituality to me, having angels in your life, having beings who look after you and take care of you and steer you in some direction. And God had a big job with me. His personnel had a big job with me, supporting me to stay clear, driving cars, literally keeping me on the road, as we spoke about in previous episodes. And I recognize it's been through those divine interventions. But people that I've spoken to have interventions right along the way. And one of the things I do as a mental health practitioner is try to intervene as quickly as I can to support people and let them know that somebody's there. You're not
Yeah.
on your own. It isn't hopeless, that there is hope, there is light at the end of the tunnel, and hold my hand and let's together build something that's better for you.
I cannot even imagine. You talked about, holding on to, God, and that knowing that God was somewhere there. For me, when I've had hard times, I've just known, sometimes even now, even just when I'll have a moment, I'll just think about my mom or my brother
Mm,
who's passed on, and just,
mm.
okay, I imagine my brother going, suck it up, just, you're fine. This is not a crisis. Or, my mom just, having a hug. And sometimes I've had dreams about it and stuff. But um, I can't even imagine being out there. And if anybody is out there and you are feeling hopeless, please, please, please know that there is help.
Yeah.
Absolutely, you can get
Yeah.
unstuck. It is not hopeless, but it's so hard for me because I've had I have a big family and we're very close, and so it's just so to imagine somebody out there just feeling like I don't even know, like you, like I don't know if I really want to go on. It's just
Yeah.
it's heart-wrenching. How do you manage your well-being and your mental health when you are talking with people who are going through something that, at least as far as the effects on their health, of their physical and mental health, is similar to what you may have gone through? How do you keep yourself grounded in a space?
Yeah, I mean, I'm blessed, and I feel very grateful, Beth, that I have around me a real supportive group of people and really good friends that I can lean on. From my wife, my soulmate, my best friend, to Flora, who just gives me loads of cuddles and just wants and demands love, attention, and food, particularly cheese. Chicken is also freely available, anything of a food variety. But I also ensure that in terms of my own mental stability now, I have to separate, as it were, from what people are going through and not get too individually involved in that, as horrific as it might be,
Yeah.
and create some professional distance in that through effective supervision. So I am, supervised in terms of my role. So there are people wiser than me that I can go to and say, did I do that? Was this okay? And so on and so forth, in order to assess it. But equally, people get sick of me hearing this, but I need to ensure, obviously, in terms of my own self care, that my sleep is good, I'm eating good, and I'm exercising on a daily basis. And I also, latterly, and I've read a really, really good book. and the book is by a guy called Gavin Oates, one of the most amazing UK speakers you could ever find, who's been there, done that, worn that T-shirt. He's recently wrote a book called Confidently Lost, which is a real account of his own experience that he went through in 23 and how he literally wrote himself back to health. And one of the things he describes in that book, quite importantly for people, is they have a glimmer list. I don't know if you've ever heard of a glimmer list, Beth?
Glimmer, like Glimmer, glimmer list?
Yeah, a glimmer
No.
list, right?
No.
These are little vignettes or moments in your day when you can just go and soak it in. It's like that first cup of coffee in the morning. It's like the sun's rays on your face. It's like that fresh buttered toast that pops from the toaster. It's like that laughter. It's like a babbling brook. Glimmers come in all shapes, forms, and sizes, but they connect us to the reality of life that we're in. Because we can concentrate on stuff that's really negative, and our news media is full of that. It's absolutely full of that. We're inundated with news media 24/7, 365.
Yep.
we need, and I would invite people to consider the possibility that there is much more to life than news media. There's much more to life than Andrew Mountbatten and what he got up to with Jeffrey Epstein. There's more to life than what happens politically, economically. And we find that in the glimmers that we collect on a daily basis. But we have to look hard. And there are people who are listening in to me today that have started this exercises, and they know the benefit of discovering the glimmers that are in your life. Because see, when you build them all together, when you start counting them up, oh my God, that becomes a priceless connection, a collection that you can return to, a collection that you can evoke. One of the glimmers that I have in my suite of glimmer, in my billionaire glimmer list, as it were, I recently discovered Aretha Franklin. Aretha Franklin's been around for a long time, right? She's been around she's one of the soul sisters, right?
She's it.
She's one of these soul sisters. But right back in 1978, she returned home for 2 days to her home church to do a gig or a concert, surrounded by her home choir, her home pastor, and her own father was in attendance, right? And it was recorded by the national media. Once the recording was finished, the recording went off in an envelope back to the production company and was lost for 35 years.
Wow.
It was lost. It was lost.
That's a crime.
Yeah. And the reason why it wasn't produced at that time was, the clapper, right? The clapper that claps down and it segments the chapters, and right.
Yeah.
There was no clapper, so it was just one long recording. It was like one long recording that went on for hours and hours. But anyway, it was found 35 years later, right at the beginning of 2000s, and it became the Amazing Grace album. So it was remastered. It's out there on digital at the moment, and it just shows Aretha Franklin on her best. And you've got the gig went on for 2 days. The crowds came in from all over. The church was packed. The vibe was amazing. And she sang from her heart, and she sang from her soul, and she sang from her roots, and she sang from that position of belief that she's always held, and it was just a beautiful captured moment in time. And the movie, the clips show the big rock stars of the day coming and just sitting in awe of this petite woman, right, singing angelically out of her skin, to the assembled mass. It was a mixture of concert. It was a mixture of powerful preaching. It was a mixture of powerful mission. It was a mixture of powerful witness, but there's one track in that, and I recommend everybody today, when they finish this podcast, go away and listen to this one track. She does a live version of Amazing Grace. Amazing Grace, done Aretha Franklin style. If that doesn't move you to put it at the top of your glimmer list, I don't know. I was
You're dead. You're already dead.
You're already dead, right? You're already finished.
And even then,
yeah, you're well dead.
Yeah.
You're well dead. You've got no pulse, because this will move a mountain, literally, if you hear it and play it up loud, because you've got to listen to the nuances. You've got to listen to the passion. You've got to listen to the vibrancy.
Yeah.
My God, that gives me chills and glimmers every day.
Well, RESPECT to Aretha, and
amen.
She's amazing, or she was amazing. She's gone now, I believe.
She's gone. Yeah. She's singing upstairs now.
Yeah,
She's
somewhere.
try the fish. That's really good.
I want to go back to the glimmer list, because I love this idea. It's just such a tiny little thing to remind ourselves to recognize when we have those moments. Why do you think we don't? Why is it so? I mean, I know that some of us, believe me, I'm guilty of this as well. We get caught up in all of the crap that is going on around us, but sometimes it's just, they're still there. Why are we so, is it because we're wired to be negative? I don't know. Why do we not take joy in these moments?
Yeah, great question. I think we're overstimulated. Truth. I think we are way past overstimulated, right? We are missing the wood from the trees. We are missing the simplicity of life. We're missing that very connection that makes us who we are and defines us who we are as human beings, right? We have become a race of human doings that we only find ourselves if we do something. Right? We only find ourselves if we create something. We only find ourselves if we've achieved something. So we're constantly doing and constantly going around that wheel. But actually, when we pause, when we take a breath, when we look up rather than look down, when we move away from technology, when we look at the wider world around us, the world is moving. Mm-hmm. The world moves around us. We're not the world. We're not the world.
Yeah. It's okay.
It's okay. It's okay. And the world's not going to fall apart if you don't pause. The world's not going to fall apart if you take that pause and take that breath of fresh air and take that pause to look at and see what really life is all about, and become what our nature is. That is human being rather than human doing.
Human doing, yeah. The more we do that, and this is one of the things I fear for the younger generation who has constant stimulation and never was able to. But I kid you not, Seamus, this very morning, I was sitting at my makeup table, just getting myself ready. And I always set my alarm for 6:55 a.m. That's when my husband wakes up 5 minutes early so he can sit in bed and cuddle with the dog. And it was 6:54. And I said, just turn, I had a whole minute. And I literally picked up my phone for that 1 minute. And then I stopped myself and I said, Beth, what are you freaking doing?
Yeah.
Put it down. And so I just sat there and I just took 10 breaths. I said, if I cannot sit at this desk for 10 minutes, then I have some bigger work for 1 minute. Yeah. I have some bigger work to do here. So yes. And it's funny that I think people really don't think, and I know I am too. I feel like I have to constantly be busy. I have to, when I speak, I use a lot of filler words because I have to fill things. But when I take the time consciously to stop, step away, rest, even though in the back of my head, that inner voice, Liz, is telling me, you didn't work on your book today and all this other stuff. It makes me so much more calm and productive when I do sit back down to do or go off to do whatever I do, because I've taken that time. So yes, shout it from the mountaintops.
Absolutely. Yeah. Oh. If I was to give you a message today, and if I was to give the listening audience a message today, just take a breath. Just take a breath. Experience experience taking a breath. Take a long, deep breath in and a long breath out, and just recognize how different life can be in that moment.
Yeah. It really is. It's amazing. Speaking of our guests, I want to go and look up some comments here because you got a lot coming in. So Hale says, "Wow, wow, wow, got chills." She's talking about your poem. I'm telling you, oh, you should have that printed and put up on your. I would print that and put up that up on my wall.
Yeah.
Stella says, "Lovely the poem." Um, Halle, I think she's talking about when you were talking about God in your dark moments. He's our brother. When he speaks, I feel the light. The source is guiding it and us and hugging us. So grateful I got connected to Corey. Yes, we are
Amen.
all. Halle is in tears just hearing some more of your story. There's always someone there when you're challenged. She's been there and back with her trauma, and 100%. I know, Halle, you have, even in just your career, your work, love your light and wisdom, my brother. Yes, so true. Stella says she has glimmer moments every day. It's a blessing to be able to see them. And it took a lot of inner work to get here. It's a blessing I created. Yes, the first step is awareness. The first step is
Yeah.
I'm having a glimmer moment.
It takes work.
Doris,
You're absolutely. It takes work. Yeah. It doesn't come by itself.
and don't feel bad if you go through a whole day and you're like, oh shit, I didn't even
Yeah.
stop to think. You know what? The fact, again, you're aware. You'll just try again tomorrow. Doris loves the idea of a glimmer list, celebrate the little things every day instead of waiting for the big thing. And then Hale says 100%. Yes, yes, yes. Pause away from text, say it loud, yell it from the roof. Let's get back to the heart to heart connection off of tech. Yes, I love tech for so many reasons. And I have wonderful relationships and connections and friendships with people who, like you,
Mm,
Seamus, whom I've never met.
mm.
But that doesn't mean I need to be at my computer all day long. And that is something I learned I started learning. So here I am again. So, my connection was goofy a little there for a second. Sorry if I ditched out. But yeah, I learned in corporate. Go, 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 go. So here we are.
Absolutely.
Um, Stella says, I always start my day with at least 1 hour without screens, no exceptions, unless I need to travel early. Never look at my phone when I take a walk, sometimes even when I even leave home without it. I'll be truthful. I look at the weather because I walk my dog, and then when I'm taking care of my morning business, I do play Wordle. So, but that's all I do. I don't. I'm not doom scrolling. Seamus, what do you think that you'd be doing if you were not doing what you're doing? If you were not a well-being counselor, consultant, a mental health practitioner, what do you think? Or is there something that you are, looking to do other than your book, which we'll talk about in a second?
Yeah. You know, God, that's a very interesting question. I've always, since the age of 12, been really interested and performed musically. So, yeah, I could have taken up if I was serious enough and committed enough. I could, I am a traditional Irish musician, so and I've played an Irish drum instrument called a bowron for the past 35 years. So I would reckon probably I'd be on tour with that somewhere with cutting it up with some
Great
band.
answer. Great
Yeah,
answer.
yeah,
I love asking
yeah.
that question because, it's hard for me because I love what I do so much. So sometimes I'm like,
Mm,
maybe it would be something, but if I really couldn't do anything even related, like if I couldn't write books and I couldn't podcast, and I would not want to go back to corporate because, as Sky says, corporate trains the worst habits. Yes, I would probably too. I like to. I mean, I'm not the greatest singer, but I would probably have worked on singing and learned an instrument better and done something musically.
mm,
I get this weird thing, Seamus, when I watch somebody performing on stage. And it could
mm,
be a big, huge concert stage. It could be a smaller venue. It could be at the local mall with,
mm,
local kids, showing their whatever JC Penney, whatever Sears and Roebuck, sh- crappy clothes. I get verklempt. I get really choked up. There's something maybe in my past life where I was a stage performer, but there's something about being out there, and maybe it's just the pride in that somebody can actually get out there and put their creativity, their music, their song, their acting, or whatever it is. It always gets me really, really choked up. So it's weird.
Yeah, it's nice. It's nice. Yeah, and and there lies one of your glimmers, Beth. Do you know
Yeah.
that's the stuff that connects us to who we really are.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
Behind
so
the,
yeah,
behind
go ahead.
all the BS, we are beautiful, inspiring, powerful, empowered human beings. We hide behind the doings rather than just being that. And
Yeah.
I would hope in the work that I'm doing now, both in terms of the journey I'm taking and supporting others to take their journeys, and that we become who we really are supposed to be.
I love it. What a wonderful world if we would just not be, because I really believe a lot of what's going on in the world, certainly in my own country, has to do with insecurity and
Yeah,
overcompensating. And I just think if we just all grew up just being allowed to be, how amazing it would be. So
yeah, yeah.
Sky says, I thought you'd say hurling.
No, Sky, can I absolutely concur that I'm not a sportsman in any form, fashion, or other.
Mm,
I
yeah.
tried it, but I couldn't get my left back to my right forward. Just kept running around the fields constantly and missing balls all over the place.
What's
I'm
hurling?
not a Hurling is the Irish sport of hurling, which is the fastest ground speed sport in the world. The ball that we use in hurling is called a schlitter, and it can travel up to 180 miles an hour at full flight.
What?
Faster than a tennis ball. Faster than a tennis ball,
No.
yeah. It's an exceptionally barbaric uh, sport.
Shocking.
Yeah, shocking sport. And if you've ever watched the game, try keep up because it's fast and it's rough. It's like rugby with sticks, right, and a much smaller ball. It's
Wow.
just,
Thank you.
yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I'm going to be playing in March for St. Patrick's Day. We have a museum that's kind of an outdoor, big, multi acreage, and it's got buildings. They are doing Irish bowling, which I
nice.
believe originated in the States, but the people in Ireland have taken this to like a whole. I was watching because I was watching videos of the Irish bowling in Ireland, and I'm
Yeah,
like, I can't do that. They're vicious. But then I watched the Americans do it, and they're just a little bit more like actual bowling down a street. And I was like, okay, I can do that. But man, you
yeah,
guys,
yeah. We
your
we don't hold
brethren,
back.
your
Yeah,
brothers and
we
sisters in the
don't.
Irish bowling
Savage,
world,
savage.
savage.
Yeah,
They are savage.
absolute savage. Yeah,
All right, so Seamus, I did mention your book. By the way,
yeah.
Seamus is already a published author. He co-authored a story in Rattled Awake, Volume 11, which is the mental health issue, which is an amazing story. You really should look it up, and other stories in there as well. But Seamus, you're working on a book. We talked a little bit about this last time, but tell us what you're working on and where you're at with
I
your
did. I did. I can confirm to the listenership that I'm a prologue and 3 chapters in at the moment. That's going to be
lovely.
submitted off to my wonderful publisher, Angela DeMarco at AuthenticityDesigner.com. She's helped me to self-publish my new volume called Gospel, which will hopefully come out in August, September of this year. Fingers crossed. So yeah,
Amazing.
and it started, Beth, I have to say, as a result of doing our podcast last year, that all my ducks fell in a row once the podcast series finished, and it got me back to the table. It got me writing it down, and I listened to those podcasts. And if you've not listened to episodes
So good.
16, 17, 23, and now 37, go and listen to them because they're powerfully curated by an amazing podcaster and Beth
Mm,
Ann Campbell.
thank you.
And that's those episodes are going to lead and guide me to complete the volume of work that's going to be beautifully published by my amazing bestie Angela DeMarco.
Awesome.
at authenticitydesigner.com, and she's just amazing. She's got a bit of form. She's got 14 books out there already. So, watch this space. She's going to blow big this year.
I cannot wait, and I love that you that you got value not only just in, you told me that you thought that your appearances were cathartic too, but I was telling Seamus earlier that when I was helping my uncle write his book about recovering from horrible abuse and addiction, one of the things that really helped us was to talk through. We actually were reading through some of the stuff he'd written, and that's kind of what you and I did. I recommend anybody out there, if you are struggling or challenged with something that you're writing, and you're just sometimes, if you have a trusted person that you can talk through your story, or whether it's fiction or it happened, it's really, really amazing to record that, and especially if you have somebody who can ask good questions, right? Not someone's just going to listen, but who's going to say, wait, can you tell me more about that part? Because you'll remember things as you talk through it out loud. It's really and I'm so honored that that our chats together, where you shared this amazing story, are helping you to put this into book form. I'm so excited for you, so happy for you, and I cannot wait. And I told you, if you need a beta reader or advanced copy reader, I'm here.
You're on the list, Beth. You're on the list. You're absolutely top of my list. You're on the list.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm really enjoying the process. And more and more as you write, and you'll know yourself being a writer, more and more memories will reignite as you write, which goes, oh God, I should put that in. I should put that in. Like I was driving back from Scotland yesterday, and I suddenly remembered my first ever music teacher. Was a guy in an old tweed trousers and jacket, real old
Nice.
style. He wore an old traditional 3-piece with the old timepiece in the middle, and he had wild hair, and he was called Francis McTaggart, and he tried painfully.
That is beautiful name.
Yeah, he tried painfully to teach me to play the penny whistle or the tin whistle, which just didn't work because I just didn't have the breath work for it. And it moved from that to the bowron that I went on to develop. I had a natural sense of percussion, and it just was natural movement in terms of movement. So, memories like that just come to the surface, and I can see him now. I can feel him breathing down the back of my neck as I'm trying to read the notes on the music sheet that I'm not following, and everybody else is 2 bars in front of me, and I'm taking the breath, and I did not lose it completely. I ended up actually wrapping the penny whistle around the corner of the chair, and saying that was it. I went home to my mum and said, no, I'm not going to music classes no more. They're just driving me absolutely.
Oh God.
Yeah.
What a great thing to remember. I love those too, when you're just like, oh my God, I forgot completely about that time I was laughing so hard sledding with my friends that I peed my pants, and I didn't. It's like, what? All right, I'm going to jump over to the comments here, folks. We are going to be wrapping up shortly, so if you have any,
can't be.
I know. We're still talking. We're still talking. Just going to give everybody giving you a little bit of an advance warning. Hale is loving the conversation. Thank you, Hale. Sky says it's insane. Give it a watch. I think he's talking about your episodes. It is really just amazing. Highly recommend experience reading his book, Hale. Yes, it is an amazing story, and we talked about it in the podcast as well. Hale says, so proud of you, Corry. Looking forward to reading your new book.
Amen.
Yes.
Yeah, you're on the list, Hale. Beta reader coming at you. Be prepared. Take some time off.
Yes. Doris says, well done, Seamus, on your book. Looking forward to reading it. And Hale says, I've been on Corry's podcast, and please experience it for yourself. It's very powerful. Thank you for that, Beth. It's healing by itself to share your story and change lives and leave a legacy.
Amen.
Stella says, I've told you X times you are such a great interviewer. That's the proof. Thank you so much, Stella. I appreciate it. It really is a great honor. It's one of the things that I don't think about. I just, I go with the flow, and thank you, Hale. Beth is an amazing interviewer. Yes. Well, you know what? Here's the thing, folks. I appreciate that. I take that compliment. I accept it. And thank you. I will caveat but that's by saying that I invite amazing people to this podcast, and Seamus is no exception. So it is easy
Stop
for
it.
me to be that
Stop it.
person.
Okay.
It
Give me
really is
more.
though,
Stop
but it
this.
is.
Give me more. Stop this. Give me more.
Anyway, okay, Seamus. So, any final words before we wrap up? And then, of course, we'll put all your information, including some of the links. We'll put the book that you mentioned, the Aretha Franklin. I'm going to try to look that up, and also, what's the other one? Oh, your bestie who's going to publish your book. We'll put that out there too. But
Angela DeMarco, ladies and gentlemen, look out for her. She's going to blow big this year. Authenticity Design, designer.com. Absolutely brilliant.
Awesome.
And I I just wouldn't give my book to anybody. And I think it's a precious volume. And we spoke about death at the very beginning of the program, and I suppose we've come full circle. And I think when I pop my clogs and my body returns to ash and carbon, that the book will be there as a legacy, not only from my family, from my from my extended family, but for those who come after me as a kind of signpost. This was me. You write on the wall, I was here on, and I think my book is going to form part of that kind of vignette as well. That I was here. It's just a marker, right? It's just a marker, right? It's just a marker.
And then I can't wait for the movie or the mini series to come out, because that has to happen. This is such a unique, amazing story.
It's funny. Angela's daughter Maddie is training to be a movie producer at the moment, and she's taken it as a major in college. So I think we got that one, Angela, all wrapped up, right? If you're listening in, or if you see it on the repeat, I think we got that one wrapped up. Yeah, I think we'll capture that somehow. Won't be as good as others, but I don't know who you'd get to play me. I have no idea. No idea.
We'll have to think about that one.
Yeah, it might be the concept for another podcast episode,
I don't know. I can think of a few people. There's God, what is his name? He was in this great show. He's an Irish actor, and he was in this great show, Australian show called I think it was called The Tourist.
Oh, right.
Jamie, is it Jamie something?
Jamie Dornan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like him. I think he would be good. I think he would play you good. Seamus, where are you mostly right now? I know you're everywhere, and we'll put all your contact info, but I know you're on LinkedIn. Where are you kind of more hubbing mostly these days in social media?
Yeah, I'm pretty much, I'm expanding, and I've expanded since we last spoke, my own digital footprint. So you'll find me now on Facebook, LinkedIn, TikTok. I refuse to go on that aliens website, X. I don't have any.
Me neither.
I don't have any recourse to go on that, or Truth Social, or anything like that. Yeah, no, absolutely no way. You'll find me on LinkedIn, and you've got my website details as well. My website is going through a little rebrand, because one of the other things I'm doing with Angela DeMarco is going through a rebranding exercise. She's a master rebrander. This is her specialism as part of a rebranding service. So it will coincide with the launch of my book, and it'll all be a seamless rebrand to put everything all in one place. So I'm looking forward to that. So you'll find me on my website, and please reach out, guys. Send me a message. It's nice to get comments on my website. It also increases my Google and analytical traffic as well. And Google like that. Google like that. They do like that. Yeah, we speak about AI and technology. I don't know if you've heard the guy from Microsoft Copilot who was interviewed the other day, and he was saying that in the next 15 to 18 months, all the white collar jobs in America, most of them, 80% of them, will go and disappear over to AI, recognition. I think, while there's a downside, that I always try to think optimistic that maybe people will return to what they are most, namely human beings, have time to build their own glimmer lists as a result of that.
Until the backlash, and then they'll all be hired back. I think that's what'll happen.
Yeah. I'm getting a shot. I'm buying a shotgun just in case AI robots become a thing. I've seen how that goes in the movies.
Well, that I would get. I would probably get an because I need an AI robot, or you know what I need? I need an AI, one of those vacuum robots, but I need it to be super smart so that it can tell where my dog has left a toy and not. I don't know if they'll ever get that smart, but anyway, Seamus, thank you so
Beth,
much.
I can't believe it's finished. I can't.
I know.
I could speak to you the whole day. We could just do a live the whole day.
You are so awesome. Thank you so much for again being a guest here. There is nobody that I know that who took such a dark part of their narrative and used it to help others like you have. You are amazing. And I'm just going to say, I'm proud to call you my friend. You are like number one on my list. Well, you're at the very top. I can't say because I know Doris is out there, and we're gonna have to all meet in a place.
Back off, Doris. She's on mine.
So thankful that you're in my life and that you're here to.
Amen. Likewise, my friend. And you know, on my goal list for 26, 27 is to take it from the virtual to the physical, and literally be able to sit down with you for a coffee and chew the cud over an extended brunch. I'm
working on it, Seamus. I got my passport updated. I got my real ID that we have to have here in the States updated in order to fly without a passport. And so, and I'm chucking money in the bank, and I'm like, yep, it's going to happen. It's going to happen.
Let's do it. Let's get it done. Unfortunately, I don't think it'll work the same for me because my social media history for the past 5 years is a little bit dubious, to say the least. So, it may or may not clean FCC rules, and
I'll come to you. I'll come to you.
Just come to me. It's much easier. I'll probably get deported back to Ireland, and that would be an awful thing. That would happen. Yeah.
Well, thank you again, and folks, thank you for being here. Next week. Oops, did I lose? Oh, I think I lost. We had a little weird lost Seamus for just a second there. That's okay.
It's
folks.
Okay.
Yeah. Next week, my very special guest is going to be David Medina, right? You probably remember. Oh, David Medina. I remember the Medina name. David is the co-founder of the Collective Mastermind, which is an amazing group. I'm a member of it. He's co-owner of Talk to Heidi, who has been a guest on this podcast twice. He's also a video editor, freelance graphic designer, and he is one of my people who kicked corporate to the curb. I love my ex-corporate people. He's also a U.S. expat living in the lovely country of Portugal, one of my stops on my European tour, and a great example of starting over on many levels. I hope you can join me in my conversation with David Medina. If you're watching on LinkedIn, please connect with me if you're not already, and of course, my amazing guest, Seamus Corry, and somewhere else, which you will find all of his links in our comments. If you're on YouTube, please like and subscribe. So helpful. Really appreciate it. If you have any questions or feedback that we didn't get to, leave them in the comments, or you can DM one of us. And congratulate yourself for getting real about your career, your purpose, and your passion. And take a breath. Take a few breaths today and remember your glimmer moments. So now, Miss Hattie Arbuckle, Seamus Corry, and I are going to bid you a fond farewell. Take it easy, and I apologize. You're going to see my little face in the exit video because I forgot to change it, but that's okay. Well, I'll just wave. I'll leave both of us on, and we'll just wave while the exit video. So take it easy, everybody. Let me find it here.
So fill your cup. Let's have a chat about careers, life, and all of that.